So I'm gonna try to show you here to the best of my abilities what I'm doing in here. So this here, it's a gauge meter. So it has these little files which are marked with what size it's on them. So it's hard to see, but I've just placed the ring in there. As you can see down there, that's the ring, and with the piston just push it down slightly so it's square with the bore. And I'm gonna use this little gauge, and I'm gonna try one by one to see which one fits in the gap. There you go. That fits in the gap with plenty of clearance. That was 0.15 millimeters. So let's try a 0.18. Yeah, still clears. 0.20. And you can start feeling a bit of resistance with the 0.20. So let's try, that's 0.18. 0.23. Still clears. Point 25. There you go, that's 0.25. Yep. 0.28. And 0.28 is when you can't make it through anymore. This is the old one, and I just stuck it in here just to have an idea. And it's one. Oh, sorry. Okay, here up. Just out of curiosity. I want to see what's 0.35. 0.35 still goes through. But anyway, so I know 0.25 still clears it. So what I'm gonna do is go 0.25. .25 is good on one. Let's check the second one. Right, so just place the ring just like so. With the piston, just push it down. There you go, straight with the bore. And there you go, 0.25 of a millimeter. Yes, definitely clears it. I can still try a 0.28. 28. And my little one literally just woke up. Yeah. So that's plenty clearance for the rings. The rings are good. So the way you place the ring, you place it on the groove. And you literally work it all the way around the piston. And there you have it. That's how it fits. Just place the other second one. So on these rings it's very hard to see. It's very hard to see, but they have a little step on the ring, or the ring itself has a little step. So there you go, it's the ring done. So now that's all checked for clearance. As you can see, the cylinder is exactly the same. Same dimensions, you know, same shape on the bottom, or all around. The exhaust port, still the same shape. So now that I know this is the same shape, this is the old piston. Which will go in there. This is the pin, and this is the clip, pin clip. And just a little practice run trying to fit this. Let's try it like so. What I want to do is to remove this gasket. In order not to lose this, I'm just gonna place it in there, well out the way. Next job, or my next job, it's to just remove this gasket. Which might prove to be an absolute pain, but it's gotta be done, so I'm going to do it. And I would absolutely love to be able to take this. There we go, this might work. Ah, my god, that's so nice. There we go, carburetor out, spot on. This frees up so much space. Amazing. Once again, my little one is awake again. It's been a couple hours since I've been in the garage. It was 9:45 when I've started. It's now, if it focus, 20 minutes past 12. So 2 hours, but the work has been done. It's good, good progress. So the cylinder head is out, or cylinder is out, the head is out. I feel no play on this bottom end, which is really good. You guys seen how the cylinder is pretty bad nicked. So good job that we're changing the head on this. Tomorrow I will be finishing to remove this bottom gasket, which is very perished. we'll fit the new cylinder, and with new gaskets, tighten everything up to spec, and hopefully finish cleaning everything up, because this is a bit greasy, not the nicest. But yeah, give overall to this engine, put it back on the chassis.
The next day.
So where I left you last time, I took the head out, took the piston out, and all I gotta do is to clean this gasket off the bottom end gasket. So I'm just gonna show you a cool little trick that I use to make this simple to do. A cool little trick I use to do this is to remove the studs. As you can see, I've been trying to take a bit of the gasket off, but not that easy with the studs in there. So what we do, get two nuts, tighten them against each other, just like so, and undo it. This one was undone already, by the way. So a little trick that I use on studs that are a bit too tight and are not wanting to come out with the two little nuts, I just add a little washer in between, and that will give a better grip to the nuts. Very simply. Just like so. So now that the studs are all out, just get a razor blade and clean the whole gasket off here. So now that the gasket is off, leaves me to put it all back together. So studs are in. Next step, I got the gasket, bottom gasket, just like this, will go in there, just like so. Next, piston pin and new clips. Place the new clip on one of the sides. This might be a bit fiddly, by the way. Get your new piston pin, just slide it in the little first bit, place your piston into place, and just drive it all the way home. Then all you gotta do, a bit fiddly, but let me see if I can do this. There we go. You can see it sit home. So a little trick I'm gonna use to help fit the rings is get a little bit of two-stroke oil. And just rub it on the piston and the heads cylinder, inside of the cylinder. So that will just help everything to slide into place easier. There we go. So now that the cylinder is in place and the piston, next thing I want to do is change these gaskets. Just with a flathead screwdriver, just pull them out, the inner and outer gasket. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a bit of this metal wool. I'm just gonna clean the carbon. There we go. So all I got left to do is put this O-rings, just make sure they are nice and clean, there's no tears or rips, and you just place it on this groove. By the way, what you watched me do was to simply use a bit of metal wool and just scuff off the grime. This grime is just salt. We live in UK. In UK we have snow and we have salt. So as you see, cleaned up the carbon, gave it a little quick clean on the cylinder. So, and just make sure that you press this O-ring right inside the groove. And the reason for that, to press this O-ring inside of the groove, is just so that when you're putting the head back here on the cylinder, if this is outside of the groove and you tighten it up, it just means it's not going to be in the right place, and you run into the issue of potentially rip the gasket and have a leak. As you can see. So simply just place it in the cylinder. Just like so. So what I'm going to do to help make sure these are all tightened up to spec is just put a little tiny bit of copper grease on the bolts. This will also help with corrosion. So again, 10 mil. Just drive them home gently. Ideally just do them by hand. Clean the excess grease. Right, so they are just tightened by hand, and let me just find out what's the torque spec on this. So it seems the torque spec on this is 65 foot-pounds of torque. So after forgetting to turn on the camera while torquing up the head, I then went and forgot to turn on the mic, and here I am trying to change the water pump into a billet one. So now once the billet water pump housing is in, it's a case of going back in and fitting all the accessories, brackets and pipes that make this engine work. It also got a new shock as the old one was a bit perished and made the bike a bit bouncy. And finally, with a bit of help and persuasion, the engine meets the chassis again. And the rear wheel had to come back out in order to fit the rear brake. After a quick jet wash and a wipe down, it's now time to plug in all the electrical connections, all the fuel lines, water lines and oil, two-stroke oil pump, so that we can get this bike back on the road. There you go guys, so that was the home stretch. Got some mates around as well as Simon. Hello Simon. As Martin and Aaron, you know, mates of mine, they came to visit me. Simon is the owner of the bike. As you've seen, it starts up, it's all back together. Sorry I didn't talk to you while I'm doing it, chatting with the mates. but I hope you enjoyed the voiceover. So last little bits, just gonna chuck it all back together, put all the plastics in, make it look nice, and then Simon can take it away and experience his first ride on his first motorcycle. Happy days, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Great.
Yeah. Well, let's just put it together and let's roll the montage. Guys, moment of truth. Just gonna test ride it, make sure it works properly.
I'm gonna win the race, Shemek.
There you go. First ride. Crazy boy. So there you go. Happy boy. It's working, and this is how you do a cylinder replacement on a little pad AEROX. So just gonna finish it up, put the belly pan in, and he's off for a ride. Happy days. Happy?
Yep.
Good.
Very happy.
Happy days. Right. Remember, ride safe, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.